Hello, Standard 7. We started with the features of we started with the features of the Vijayanagar Empire. Okay, and in the features of the Vijayanagar Empire, I completed administration, society, economy, trade, and occupation. Okay, today we will be doing literature and theatre. Okay, it's literature and theatre. So here Vijayanagar rulers they patronized poets, philosophers, religious teachers. Okay, they means they had patronized these people, and these people were excellent in two languages, that is Telugu and Sanskrit languages, and they wrote mainly the books in Telugu and Sanskrit languages. So many Vedic commentaries were written by Sayana in that time period. Okay. Now Krishna Deva Raya himself was a scholar and he also was excellent in two languages. It's Telugu and Sanskrit. Telugu and Sanskrit. So here that means Telugu and Sanskrit was very popular language. Next you have Amukta Malyada. Now what is Amukta Malyada? It's a famous poem composed by Krishna Deva Raya in Tamil language. Okay, it is a famous poem composed by Krishna Deva Raya in Tamil language and it deals with the life of Vaishnava saint. This is Amukta Malyada. Next, Ashtadiggaj. He had Ashtadiggaj in his court. Now, what is this Ashtadiggaj? Eight great men who lived in Krishnadeva Raya's court. They were known as Ashtadiggaj. So, among these Ashtadiggaj, few names I'll just read. It's Alasani Pedana. He wrote a book, Manu's Charitra. Many books were written, so he wrote Manu Charitra. Tenali Rama was another who was known for his wit and humor. Okay, he was also called Viktakavi. Okay, and then apart from Telugu and Sanskrit languages, okay, scholars they spoke different languages in Vijayanagar's empire, and these languages were Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, as well as Marathi. So these languages were also spoken by the people scholars. Then we have architecture. The next we have architecture. Beautiful buildings were built in the time of Krishna Deva Raya, in the time in the Vijayanagar Empire. Beautiful buildings and the capital Hampi was adorned with the temples. Beautiful temples you can see in the capital Hampi. The important temples with the finest example of the Vijayanagar Empire of the temples, it's Vithala Swami temple, Virupaksha temple and Hazara Rama temple. Three temples names I said. Vithala Swami temple, Virupaksha temple and Hazara Rama temple. Now, walls of these temples were adorned with beautiful sculptures. Beautiful sculptures you can see on the walls of these temples. Now, Vithala Swami temple built by Krishna Deva Raya. Who built? Krishna Deva Raya. Vithala Swami temple. Okay, was a typical of Vijayanagar architecture. So, what is the speciality of this temple? So apart from main shrine, there was five structure which enclose in a huge courtyard. Gopuram rising over four entrance gates at a dominant feature. Now what is Gopuram? Gopuram are lofty pyramidal towers and new features called Kalyana Mandapam was added later on to the old structure. A new thing was added to the old structure, and what was this new thing? Kalyana Mandapam. But what is this Kalyana Mandapam? Kalyana Mandapam was a large pillar hall where gods and goddesses were ceremoniously married every year. Every year, the gods and goddesses were ceremoniously married. Stone chariot is also very impressive structure of temple. Its wheels turn, making it to move from one place to another. This temple is also famous for its seven pillar. Each main pillar of this temple is supported by seven minor pillars representing musical instruments. So, who describes about the capital city? And you see, Domingo Paes, you studied about him. He was a traveler, okay, Portuguese traveler. Now he visited Vijayanagar and he compared Vijayanagar with Rome. Okay, he described the capital city as large as Rome, and many beautiful gardens adorned the city. A canal from a dam built across the Tungabhadra river supplied water to the city. So the city was very well advanced, beautiful, and adorned with the temples. So here you see architecture also was very advanced. But then such a great empire declined also. But what was the reason for the decline of Vijayanagar Empire? Why the Vijayanagar Empire declined? So it's after the death of Krishnadeva Raya, Vijayanagar Empire became weak. After his death, Vijayanagar Empire became weak and his successors became proud. They became proud. So they began to deal in a very arrogant manner with neighboring Bahmani kingdoms. And this was the main reason for the weakening of the Vijayanagar Empire. When neighboring Deccan kingdoms they joined their hands. You see, they became arrogant towards the Bahmani kingdoms, and all these Bahmani kingdoms, who were divided into five kingdoms, they joined together against the Vijayanagar Empire. And when neighboring kingdoms taken joined hands with each other and defeated the last Vijayanagar ruler at the Battle of Talikota in 1565 AD. So when Battle of Talikota took place 1565 AD between Vijayanagar ruler and the group of Bahmani rulers. So Vijayanagar was totally plundered by them, and after that we see that this empire declined. So, what was the reason for the decline? Vijayanagar Empire became weak after the death of Krishnadeva Raya, and his successors became proud. They started dealing in a very arrogant manner with the Bahmani king rulers. And what Bahmani rulers did, they joined their hands together against the Vijayanagar ruler. And when they joined their hands against the Vijayanagar ruler, here they defeated the Vijayanagar ruler in the Battle of Talikota, which took place in 1565 AD. So here Vijayanagar Empire declined. So in today's class, you studied about literature and theatre, you studied about architecture in the main features, and I explained you how the Vijayanagar Empire declined. Please learn it.